Alright, fuck it. Going with some fake scary shit. No! Y'all here with me? Y'all can hear this? Yes, y'all can hear it. Perfect.
There are three perspectives to this. There's these men, covered with plastic masks, focused, waiting, stalking, as another sneaks around out front, surrounding the perimeter of a South Ogden home. There's those inside the house, a group of renters just enjoying their night, unaware of the fact that outside they were surrounded. And then there's you, watching, not only unaware, but helpless to the situation unfolding before you, as not only have you witnessed the stalking of a home, you've also witnessed the moments before a murder. Before we start, this video has an incredibly fitting sponsor, Hunt a Killer. Hunt a Killer is a horror subscription game where you're given realistic life mystery.
That sounds like some Ouija board shit.
To be one of my favorite.
Yep, Blair Witch. Not with that.
That's huntakiller.com/Nick. In the moments following these clips, gunshots would ring out as the stalkers opened fire on a group of people inside the home. The situation would wind up with 24-year-old Kyle Van Coleman and 61-year-old Kevin Nelson being shot to death, with another young man being struck, just barely surviving. And what's most disturbing about this situation is that a motive for this attack has never been found, and neither have the killers.
Let me tell y'all something. If I go to kill somebody, it's gonna be a rando. So then I got a better chance of getting away with it. I'm gonna study the game, right? This sounds crazy. In GTA, I always thought about this. Why I'm tripping, bro. My shit says offline. What am I doing? This is a core example of what not to do, chat. Just going on live and shit and saying you offline don't make no sense.
Security footage.
Anyways, this is what I was saying before I stopped myself. If I was to go, you feel me? I'm gonna make sure it's somebody that I don't know. I'm gonna study the game real quick. I'm gonna study them. I'm gonna watch them. You feel me? I'm gonna watch every move, so I understand how they get around. After that, I'm gonna calculate. Niggas don't know. In my past life, I might have been Dexter. You feel me? Because there's certain things that I just feel like I'm just too, you know what I'm saying? I slid through the, feel me? Real shit though.
Would show one of the men running away from the scene, but his identity has never been found. And the same is true with the others. And with this case nearing 4 years with little to no leads, it's getting colder and colder each day. An unexpected, unmotivated, and unsolved killing. It's a terrifying thought, as it could happen to anyone. The aftermath of this event was obviously disturbing, but the way they stalked—
Not me though. I got some in my crib. Actually, let me not say that, cause somebody really do come in this bitch, I'll probably be crying. No! Somebody please help! That might be me.
this home before their crime is chilling, to say the least. And it somewhat reminds me of another infamous video clip that in many ways was even more twisted. It was June 25th, 2011. A camera points inside the home of Laura Giddings, a 27-year-old law student who was only a short time away from completing her bars. In the video, we can't see Lauren, but the man behind the camera knew she was home. His name is Stephen McDaniels, a classmate of Lauren's and her next-door neighbor, and over the previous months, he had become romantically interested in Lauren. A feeling that was far from mutual, with Lauren turning down his offer for a date. And most people would just leave it at that. But for Steve...
Nah, y'all already know though. Y'all seen when his eyes going this way and the other one going that way. And usually you can trust people like that. But like, look at his face with it. You feel what I'm saying? When you see the type of archetype, you know what I'm saying, type of build that he has, she should have stayed away from the beginning. I think the problem here was that she was ready to get away. You feel what I'm saying? And he wasn't ready for that. You know, somebody like this, you got to let them down very easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really very much walk around on eggshells, because he looked crazy. You feel what I'm saying? He got that crazy look in his eyes, like he can do something to you. You feel me? So people like that, you got to stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? When they got that look in their eyes that they might do something to you. You feel me? You could always tell too, because it's a certain type of it's damn near like a, I don't even know, but it's not good, I'll tell you that.
Even the rejection made him fall deeper, to the point of obsession. He would follow her, track her movements, and since they were neighbors, he knew where she lived, and he knew when she was home. Which brings us to this clip, which, without context, is creepy enough. It shows Stephen pointing the camera in Lauren's home, seemingly trying to catch a glimpse of her. All the whilst, Lauren was completely unaware of the man outside her home. But with context, it's even darker, because not only did this clip show the moments of Stephen McDaniels stalking Lauren, it also shows us the moments before her murder. Immediately following the video, Stephen would continue his stalking inside the home. He would enter Lauren's house and creep over to the room that she was sleeping in. But as he approached, he ended up stepping on a creaky floorboard, causing Lauren to wake up. She yelled at him to leave her house, but in an instant, Stephen would lunge at her, wrapping his hands around her neck and choking her to death. The following day, he would return to her house to dispose of her body, chopping her up into pieces and throwing her in the trash. Every time I see this clip, I get chills, because
Nah, he's dead crazy, man. He chopped the body up into pieces and threw it in the trash. I'm sorry. That's a different type of real, like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's anger or like he got something going on. And y'all folks stay safe though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all keep y'all doors closed and you peek through the windows when you need to. You know what I'm saying? And you get locks. You know what I'm saying? And make sure those locks is strong. You know, and if you got a code, don't just be sharing it with everybody. You feel me? Because you don't know. And you make sure you pray every night, you know. You feel me? What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, cause that's what you can do. Get a Ring doorbell, front and back. You feel me? There ain't no entryways that's uncovered. You make sure that you damn near want to have a good neighbor. You feel me? That's not a good neighbor right there. Somebody like that, nah, not good neighbor. You gotta move. Just cause of that person. That, or you calling the police cause you feel like they moving weird. You feel me? And I don't want to call the police, so I'm moving. Because I'd rather not even put myself in that situation. Real shit. So y'all just make sure y'all folks stay safe out here in these streets, because it's real dangerous, you know. Because I don't want y'all going through this. Lauren could have been here right now. Not saying it's her fault, because it's really his fault. But You know, we gotta move skeptical. You never know. Them eyes that he got could have told a story. You feel me? When you look into somebody's eyes and it look like they already been here before, they dead body, dead eyes, it ain't right.
He never saw this coming. But some of the darkest moments of this case actually came after this footage. In the days following her death, authorities were viewing this case as a disappearance, given the fact that there was no body, and Stephen wasn't even considered a suspect, to the point where a news station casually interviewed him, assuming he was just the clueless neighbor.
I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
In the meantime, Stephen believed that he would never be caught, as by this point, the garbage should have been taken away, along with Lauren's body. Stephen really thought he was in the clear, but there was one problem. That day, the garbage truck had ran late, and detectives had gotten to the scene just before the truck would take Lauren's body away. And as the detectives pulled up, they would check the garbage can and find Lauren's sawed-off torso. It said that if they had arrived just a few minutes later, the garbage truck would have been taken away, and Stephen would likely have gotten away with murder. But the interesting thing is, at the time Stephen was being interviewed by that local news station, he had no idea that Lauren's body had been found. And in this moment, he believed that the garbage truck had already been taken away, and that he would never be caught. And so, when the news reporter mentioned the fact that they had found a body, we see Stephen's live reaction and his realization that his dark secret was about to come out.
I think that's where they had recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you heard any, had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there?
Oh, nah. This nigga guilty as hell. Talking about body. This nigga damn near hit one of these. Body. Nigga, what? If you don't stand on your murder, nigga, and you act like you been here before, nigga. Man, that sound wrong in GTA. That sound wrong. But just, like, for real, bro. This is probably one of the worst criminals I've seen in my lifetime. You feel me? I'm not here to judge criminals and see how good they were at their craft, but, nigga, your ass. You feel what I'm saying? Your ass. Do better. Find something new to do, because obviously this wasn't for you. Nigga said, body? Fuck are we talking about?
You okay, sir?
Rest in peace, Lauren.
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
In the days following...
Oh, nah. I think I need to sit down. Chat. This nigga's top 5 idiots.
In the interview, Stephen would be arrested and sentenced to life in prison. There's something about watching these moments, recorded on video. It's so haunting. But the moments before a murder aren't always released in the form of footage. In fact, many of these moments are shown in the form of pictures.
Oh.
And there's one that has haunted me since my
I'm thinking it's audio or something. I guess I was wrong.
childhood. And I'll never forget watching some TV program as a kid and seeing this picture. The photo shows 2-year-old James Bulger with 2 other boys walking through a shopping center in Bootle, England. In February of 1993, Bulger was visiting a shopping center with his mother, Denise. During their shopping trip, Denise had taken her eyes off of her son for just a second, only to realize that he had vanished. He was by her side one moment and gone the next. After the mall was searched, it was realized that James was truly missing, and authorities began searching for the boy, which led them to this photo. It was a still shot taken from the CCTV footage in the mall that shows Bulger leaving the shopping center with these 2 unidentified boys. The discovery was strange, but it gave Denise hope, because the boys who were with James seemed like kids themselves, which made Denise relieved. They were probably just innocent kids trying to help a lost 2-year-old. And so, for a brief moment, there was hope. Hope that didn't last long.
Good evening, you're watching the news from ITN. Tonight's headlines: police hunting for the missing Merseyside toddler have found a body.
Bulger's deceased body would be quickly found just half a mile away from the mall, having sustained traumatic injuries. It would be just a short investigation, as authorities were quickly able to discover what exactly had happened, thanks to eyewitness testimony and the CCTV footage. On the day of Bulger's disappearance, 2 boys named Robert Thompson and John Venables had skipped school and visited the shopping center. There, they were seen on security footage, seemingly looking for someone, with one of the boys later admitting that they were looking for a child to abduct. And that's when they saw James. They grabbed him as...
What type of fucked up shit? These is little kids looking for a boy to grab, to abduct. What kind of weird fuck shit was going on here? I don't like this one at all. Not saying I like the other ones, but this is really weird. This is like, nigga, y'all some grown ass kids trying to get little folks. That nigga was with his mom's trying to shop. Y'all some hoes. That's what y'all is. You couldn't find another target. Feel me? There's 2 of y'all, and y'all went after this little boy. Helpless little boy. He probably was trying to buy some toys with moms. Nigga, I'd be so heated if a nigga tried to grab me when I was 2 years old, nigga. I'm trying to get some new toys, nigga. And this nigga... But why? No, bro. I ain't gonna lie, though. But like, nigga, 2 years old, nigga, like, they ain't even, like, this nigga don't even got a thought in his head. He just like, well, I'm with these new dudes, these 2 random niggas. Where are we going? You feel what I'm saying? They walked him off with his hand to hand. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't even abduct this nigga for real. They did, but like, you feel me? It wasn't like no hard work. So like, what was going through y'all heads, bro? That's that weird fuck shit that be going on through murderous intent. You feel what I'm saying? I can't even understand it, and I will never be able to in GTA. You feel me? But this is dead wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. I'm so sorry. This gotta stop. Somebody get them. They already been got actually whole time. But this is utterly disgusting.
Seen in the photo and took him down to a nearby canal. There they dropped the young boy on his head and dragged him around the area, causing multiple facial wounds. The kidnappers would then walk James into nearby Liverpool and take him into a variety of shops, all the while James was still crying and bleeding. It's said that throughout the entire kidnapping, at least 38 people had witnessed the injured boy, but no one reported them. All the red flags in the world were there, and people just didn't say a word. And if just one person had called the police, then maybe the story wouldn't have ended the way it did. After their trip into town...
And all y'all people, like, that ain't say nothing, y'all ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I get it, though, to an extent. Like, as a black person, you know, you see some fuck shit going on. It's a white baby. You damn near think you just gotta walk away because you don't want to get caught in it somehow. But y'all was probably white folk too. No, like racial, no racism. But I'm gonna just say this, like, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did see something, y'all ain't say nothing. But I get it though. I actually do get it. But it is like it isn't what it is, because like it's not something you say it is what it is for. But like y'all definitely gotta do better. But I ain't gonna lie, like, no cop called 38 people. I know I'm not the nigga that would have done it. But there's 37 more people. I'm thinking somebody else gonna do it. That's exactly how I think. You feel me? So y'all just dead wrong. Feel me? Real shit.
John and Robert would take James into the village of Walton and onto a nearby railroad, as shown from this grainy photo taken from a security camera. This would be the last moment that James would be seen alive, as he would be tortured once the 3 reached the railroad. The amount of torture and injuries that James sustained were unimaginable and unsurvivable, especially for a 2-year-old. After James had passed, Robert and John then buried his head under rubble and left his body on the train track. And they did this in the hope that the train would hit James, making this all look like an accident. The train would come by soon after that and strike his corpse, cutting it in half. It's devastating, and when you see this moment, you have to wonder how different things could have been if someone had just stepped in. But in a case as jarring as this one, there's one more shocking note that I didn't add. As I mentioned previously, Robert and John were just boys when they killed James, and I'm not talking 16 or 17 years old. These kids were 10 years old. The torture, the kidnapping, all of this evil came from the hands of two 10-year-old boys. There are simply no words for it. Despite being children, the two were tried as adults and recommended by their judge to serve 15 years minimum. However, they would be released just 8 years later due to a change in legislature.
Nah, that's bullshit. Them niggas killed a boy at 10 years old for no reason and only got 8 years. Ridiculous.
Cases like this are incredibly frustrating, as people were just too willing to sit back and do nothing to help this child. But there's another case that I've come across that might be even more infuriating.
Okay, ma'am, how can I help you?
I woke up this morning and my daughter was not in the house. I don't know if she walked out or I don't know what's going on, but she's not here.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5.
The following was just a clip of Antoinette Davis's 911 call on November 10th of 2009. And the pain in her voice is clear, and it's understandable why she was feeling this way, because her 5-year-old daughter Shania had just gone missing from her home. The night before, she was sleeping peacefully in her bed, and the next morning, she was nowhere to be seen. It's a mother's worst nightmare, and authorities would quickly rule that foul play was likely. Their theory was that someone had snuck into the Davises' home and stole Shania during the night without being noticed. As the search for Shania began, police would soon acquire security footage that showed the young girl being carried by a man in a nearby hotel. The footage shows the two near the elevator, about to head up to the man's room, with a screenshot of this recording being released to the public in an attempt to help find the man in the photo. A lot can be insinuated from just this one frame, but as we'll soon find out, things were even worse than what they seemed. On the 13th of November, a man named Mario McNeil would come forward as the man seen in the viral photograph. He would turn himself over to authorities, but at first refused to speak any more on the situation. However, the following day, he would reveal a disturbing fact about Shania's disappearance. He told authorities that Antoinette had fallen into debt with Mario, as she had owed him a substantial amount of drug money. However, Antoinette didn't have the money at the time, and needed to find a way to pay Mario back. And it was then that Mario suggested she used a different kind of payment, sex. And so that's exactly what Antoinette resorted to. Only she didn't sell herself.
I woke up this morning and my daughter was not in the house. I don't know if she walked out.
Instead,
Oh, hell nah. Hell nah. What the fuck?
she used her 5-year-old daughter as payment.
I'm trying to come up with words to describe, like, but there's no way to, like, describe what type of, like, weird, like, bro, like, what the fuck? Bro. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There's something wrong, bro. Something wrong with, like...
Giving her to Mario so that he could use as a slave. It's the most vile thing a mother could ever do, and it's not even the worst part. The quote-unquote substantial amount of money that Mario was owed was just $200. Antoinette...
Nigga, she sold her daughter for $200? Put this bitch in jail for 1,000 years. Niggas don't want to see me as judge. You ain't never gonna get out. You sold your daughter for $200. What kind of weird broke shit is that, nigga? That's some Mr. Krabs shit. And he wouldn't even sell Pearl, nigga. You dead wrong. I know you could have put $200 together in a few days. $200 is one check if you working part-time, nigga. One check. That's not even one check. That's really like a quarter of a check. $200. Sold your whole daughter. You ain't even love your goddamn daughter.
That sold her own daughter for $200. Shania would later be found in a ditch alongside of the road, having been suffocated to death by Mario. And piecing things together, it appears that after this clip was taken, Mario had taken the girl up to his room and strangled her there. Today, Antoinette is still in prison, with Mario being sentenced to death. These moments before murders are all disturbing in their own way, and they all have something in common. They were captured on CCTV footage, but there have been other moments captured by the victims themselves, as they show a first-hand perspective of what was soon to come. And in many ways, that can be even more horrifying. Most notably, 24-year-old Cindy Loof had posted a selfie to her Snapchat, expressing her excitement for her upcoming date. She had no clue that this would turn out to be the moment before her murder. That night, Cindy was set to meet up with a woman she had met on Tinder named Bailey Boswell. The two had been on a date the day previous, with things going well enough to warrant a second date. However, things would take a strange turn when, after being lured into Bailey's apartment, Sydney was introduced to Aubrey Trail, a 51-year-old man who happened to be Bailey's boyfriend. Cindy had no idea that this was never planned to be a date. It was a setup for her murder. At the home, Aubrey would strangle Sydney with an extension cord, choking her to death. From there, the two would saw her body into 14 pieces and discard them throughout the area. It was certainly twisted, but this murder was anything but random, as it was later confirmed that the couple had planned to murder her that evening, with them being caught on security footage purchasing the saw they used to cut up her body the day before the killing. This was all planned out, but why kill Sydney? Well, the answer would be difficult to find at first, as there was no sign of either Bailey or Aubrey. The two had left town as soon as authorities started looking for them. But despite them running from the police, they weren't completely out of sight, as the two would frequently post videos online updating the public on their case and cussing out those trying to track them down.
The Lincoln Police Department apparently wants everyone to believe that we're hiding, that we haven't talked to them, that we're avoiding them. I wish the family the best. I mean, no disrespect to anyone. I wish Sydney the best. But as far as the police department, you.
It's truly bizarre, and despite the two being on the run, they would eventually be caught and questioned, which is when the true horrors of this case would be revealed, as the 51-year-old Aubrey Trail would admit to running a cult. He referred to himself as the vampire, and he enlisted the help of young women to help him steal different antiques, perform sexual rituals, and carry out heinous murders. He told the women that doing these tasks would give them powers, and that the more brutal the murder, the more power they would gain. It's extremely disturbing, and it's especially shocking knowing that he actually did have a following, with at least 12 women being linked to the cult. However, despite this information, and Aubrey apparently bragging at one point that he had killed several people, there is to this day no actual proof that he was responsible for any other murders besides Sydney's. It's something straight out of a movie, with the case featuring many twists and turns, with perhaps the most dramatic coming back in the summer of 2019 during Aubrey's trial.
Please be seated.
Bailey is innocent and I curse you all.
Stop recording.
Inside the courtroom, he would slash his neck open in an attempt to take his own life. He would, however, survive the ordeal and would later be convicted of first-degree murder, with Boswell still awaiting her trial. With everything that happened in this case, it's crazy to think back to where it all started. Sydney was just a young woman excited for her date, who had no idea that this day would be her last. And for her, she likely saw no red flags that night. Before our final case, the warning signs couldn't have been more obvious. It happened in Warren, Michigan, where 20-year-old India Mackey would enter the car of her 18-year-old boyfriend.
No, India. No. You don't deserve this.
And Kevin Dixon. And it's unclear what exactly had sparked it, but as the two sat in the vehicle, an argument began, and the two started shouting back and forth. As the argument progressed, Dixon would pull out his handgun and start loading it. However, it appears at the time that Mackey didn't believe he would actually shoot her, and so she pulled out her phone and calmly began recording him. The video shows the two speaking back and forth as Dixon wipes his fingerprints off of the bullets he was loading. As the video continues, Dixon talks about how he's going to shoot her.
You think I'm playing, huh?
Okay.
You think I'm playing, huh? Hit you with this big 4-5 hollow tips, gonna eat your up.
But Mackey appears unbothered. And watching this all, it's so shocking how casual the video is. It's very clear that
This be the problem. He told her what he was gonna do. Y'all gotta take these niggas serious. Niggas that just got they shit like this in a car, wiping off the bullets. Oh, no. Take that as a sign. Feel me? Nigga start wiping his bullets off him. Sorry, sir. What did I do? I apologize. You don't gotta do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I said something against you, if I said something to really get under your skin, I'm so sorry. You feel me? I want my life. Please. Please. Allow me to live a few more days. Let me say hi to my mom again. Let me say bye to my mama again. I'm not ready to go. Niggas start wiping off his bullets. Apologize. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever the argument was, it ain't that serious. And you probably thought he was like, this. She was probably like in her head, this nigga ain't gonna shoot me. He ain't gonna do shit. She started recording. She like, you talking about you gonna shoot me? Let me find out. This boo boo boo. No, in GTA. And that ain't right. It ain't never gonna be right. But know your personnel. You feel me? Know what type of niggas. This nigga look like he really about it. He started wiping off the bullets. He said, you don't know how these hollow tips gonna hit you. The fuck do you mean? I'm sorry. Please explain. What does that mean? You feel what I'm saying? So, I ain't even big on guns. But somebody say some shit like that, start loading the gun, I'm damn near jumping out the car. Let that motherfucker drive by itself. That could be my man, nigga. My best bro. My best bro. My man's, bro. That could be my man's best bro. He start doing that, I'm jumping out the car. And I'm turning the wheel first, so then he gonna go into a tree or something. And I'm running for the sake of me. While I'm calling the police. I will call the police in that position. In that situation, I'm calling the police. While I'm running. Please. If I die here, this is on y'all. I'm running. Save me. He has the hollow tips. And he keeps talking about he gonna shoot me. I thought it was my bro. He's not my bro. Get his ass. That's all I gotta say.
Mackie didn't think her life was in danger. She just sat there, casually responding to him and holding the camera still. Her hands weren't even shaking. Mackie didn't believe that Dixon would go through with this. But he did. Immediately after this video stopped, Kevin Dixon would shoot India Mackie point blank with the very gun he was cleaning in front of her. She was killed instantly. After the shooting, Dixon would drive erratically away with Mackie still in the passenger seat before eventually being pulled over and arrested for her murder. Kevin Dixon remains in prison to this day.
Shout out my nigga Nick Crowley, bro. He always give me some good videos to watch. They're a little creepy. He a little crazy, a little weird. But he's a real guy. Real N-word. You feel what I'm saying? So, shout out to him. Respect.
Love hard and make bad decisions. It's first Sunday, I'm still begging for Jesus. Can he save me from the fire and the Jezebel spirits? Got bad bitches walking through my thoughts like a demon. Will she take my semen, bear my seed? Can she